talking bold predictions on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. What's going on, guys? My name is Patrick Siepman, and I wanted to go over 5 bold predictions for this football team next season. We'll say this before we dive into it. My homer is going to come out. I'm going to be drinking the purple Kool-Aid. These are all optimistic, bold predictions as we're in the dog days of the offseason. There's no reason to be negative around this football team as it stands right now. But you guys let me know. What is your bold prediction for the Vikings next season? Get wild for me down below in the comments section. Say whatever you want, but I would really do appreciate it if you guys let me know your thoughts on a bold prediction for this football team next season. But my first bold prediction, and this may upset some people, and I understand, but my number one bold prediction is J.J. McCarthy doesn't play. And the number one reason for that is I think the Vikings are going to be patient with him. I don't think the Vikings brought him in here to start, honestly, at all during the first season. And I could even see J.J. getting benched for all of year 2. He just turned 21 years old in January. Even if he takes 2 full seasons to get ready, or let's just say he takes the Jordan Love route and he takes 3 full seasons to get ready, he would just be 23 years old, turning 24, entering that third season. So, and also another big reason why I don't think J.J. is going to play a lot this season. This guy right here, Sam Darnold, I think he's going to have a big-time year. I really do believe in Sam Darnold, and the main reason for that is, kind of a backhanded compliment here, but it's not fully because of him, but it is because of the Vikings support system. It is because of the 2 tackles. It's because of Aaron Jones, the 2 great wide receivers, and also Kevin O'Connell. I mean, what KOC was able to do this past season with Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins, Jaron Hall at the quarterback position, I think he's going to be able to do a whole lot more with a guy like Sam Darnold. So I'm a believer in Sammy Dimes. I think he's going to end up working out this year. And I really wanted to get bold on here, but I restrained myself. I was going to say Sam Darnold starts 18 games for the Minnesota Vikings, if you guys catch what I'm saying right there. But number 2 for me, and honestly thinking about this is kind of half-assed by me because this isn't really a bold take. The Vikings have 2 1,000-yard pass catchers this season. And I think you start off with these 2 top dogs. Jefferson, the biggest lock in the NFL. I don't care who the quarterback is. He will get to 1,000. But Jordan Addison this past season got just under 1,000 yards, and he had Nick Mullins. He had Jaron Hall. Josh Dobbs throwing the football. Even if it's, Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy, I frankly don't think it matters. I think Jordan Addison will get to 1,000 yards. And, maybe I should have made this the bold prediction, but I think these 2 will be pretty undisputed, the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League after this year. I think Jordan Addison is incredibly slept on for other NFL fans and media members, but I think these 2 will both cross 1,000. Now, I wanted to put T.J. Hockenson there as well. I was going to say the Vikings have 3 1,000-yard receivers, as he almost had 1,000 last year, and he also missed the last 3 games of the regular season, but he's expected to not be ready until around November, so he's probably going to have an 8 or 10 game stretch to get to 1,000. I wanted to get really bold there and say Hawk would hit 1,000 even coming off the torn ACL, but TJ Hockenson, I think once he gets back out there, he's going to have a big year for the Vikings. And also, I will say this, I think Robert Tonyan and Josh Oliver are going to be able to fill in super, super nicely, and I don't really think we'll see that big of a drop-off in production from the tight ends with or without Hockenson. But obviously when he's back, having that combination of Hawk and Josh Oliver as the 2, one being a pass-catching tight end mainly and one being a run-blocking tight end mainly. I think they complement each other very, very well. So T.J. Hockenson, I also expect big things for him. But this is I probably should have put this at number 1. I think the Vikings defense is going to be top 5 in almost every statistical category. And a big reason for this is just the talent they've added on that side of the football this offseason. I mean, you got 10 defenders who, maybe elite is a little zealous for them, but I think they're fantastic. You got the 3 guys in free agency, Jonathan Greenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Blake Cashman. How do you replace Daniil Hunter? You bring in 2 elite edge rushers in free agency in Greenard and Van Ginkel, and then also you added another great linebacker, hometown kid next to Ivan Pace in Blake Cashman, and then you got the safety position. Josh Metellus, one of the most versatile players in the NFL. Cameron Bynum had a breakout season this past year. He's one of the top safeties in the league. Still got Harrison Smith. I think he's going to have, some sort of resurgence. Obviously, he doesn't have the same, getaway speed as he once was, but he's still incredibly effective. And then Ivan Pace, I'm huge on him. I think he's going to have a monster season in year 2. Byron Murphy, he's the biggest question mark. We anticipated him to be the true cornerback 1 heading into the year. Never really got that. But, I think he's going to be a solid defender. And then Harrison Phillips, really solid defensive tackle. Now, if Dallas Turner could pop in year 1, that's the guy that I think could really get this defense over the top. And we can talk about, the main reason why I think the Vikings defense will be top 5, Brian Flores. I have never seen a defense, or honestly, either side of the football look so different between a year to the year after. And Brian Flores had that effect this past season. This was a Vikings defense. If I showed you their stats from the 2022 season, when this team won 13 games, they were ranked 30th in points, 30th in yards, 30th in yards per game. Everything was in the 30s for the Minnesota Vikings, and they had one of the worst defenses. And Brian Flores, with similar talent on that roster, didn't really make too many big additions. Look at the rankings: 13th in points per game, 16th in yards per game. Pass defense was a little shaky at 24th, but then the rush defense was great at 8th in the entire NFL. They were top 20 in sack production this past season, but I think with Van Ginkel, Jonathan Greenard, I think all these numbers are going to go up. And that's why I do believe when we look at these numbers this time next season, we're going to be seeing, 5th, 6th, 7th, 2nd, or whatever it may be. But I do really believe in this unit heading in the next season. I want you guys to go back to school for me, or get in Madden style here. So give the Vikings defense a Madden rating. If I had to rank it right now, I'm going to go an 80. But by the end of the season, we're going to be talking about it in the 87, 88 range. But scale it for me down below in the comments section, 1 through 99. Give the Vikings defense a Madden rating. But number 4 for me is going to be around Aaron Jones and the Vikings rushing attack. So the Vikings rushing attack has been awful the last 2 seasons. And I think Aaron Jones is going to be the biggest reason why that will be fixed. Now, looking at the Vikings rushing stats for the last 2 years under Kevin O'Connell, really poor. And this is one thing about KOC that I am disappointed in. No doubt about it. He just hasn't, lived up to, obviously the Sean McVay rushing offense that they had in Los Angeles, ranking 27th and 29th over the past 2 seasons. But I think Aaron Jones is going to change that. And, Aaron Jones, yes, he is an older running back, but he still has a ton of juice. And last season, specifically from week 16 on, all the way to divisional round, when he did come back from injury, he was great. Rushing yards over expected. My favorite stat when evaluating running backs. Next-gen stats, they give a certain number. Hey, on this run, Aaron Jones is supposed to get 3 yards. If he, let's just say, gets 7, he would have a +4 on rushing yards over expected. He led the entire NFL in that category from week 16 on at +151, and a sizable gap between who was number 2, which actually, funny enough, it was Josh Allen, which is just incredible by him. I think he's the second best player in the whole, damn league. But you also got other guys like James Conner, Derrick Henry, and Isaiah Pacheco. But listen, Aaron Jones has been productive throughout his entire career. I think he has floated around that top 5, top 10 running back in the league for the last 4 seasons, and I think he's just going to continue that. And I think a lot of people, when they talk about, why was our run game bad? It is so easy for fans just to say, oh, our offensive line was bad. They weren't giving us, enough running lanes, to be productive. Well, I think the Vikings running back situation, in 2022, Dalvin Cook was terrible. And then this past season, Alexander Mattison was awful. I saw a stat tweeted out by Warren Sharp, and it was Mattison had 9 rushes within the 5-yard line. So goal to go, 5 and in, and he had 0 touchdowns. He had 700 yards and 0 touchdowns. I think Aaron Jones is going to fix that real quick. But we got one more bold prediction coming to you guys here in a second. But if you guys want to get your J.J. McCarthy jersey today, hit this link, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Would appreciate if you guys help support the program here. And plus, you're going to rock one of the hottest Vikings jerseys for the next couple of seasons. So click this link, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. I'll put that link for you guys in the comments and description of today's show. But number 5 for me, and you know what? I'm going to call myself out on this. I don't even think these are that bold. I'm going to go Dallas Turner wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, as it stands right now, he is the heavy favorite to win the award. And, let's just look at some of the competition he's going up against. You obviously got Latu, as I think edge rushers are the biggest, threat to win that award. As a, Defensive Player of the Year always goes to edge. Defensive Rookie of the Year always goes to edge as well. But, Byron Murphy went into defensive tackle for the Seahawks. You got Terrion Arnold, who the Lions drafted, which was a great draft pick. That absolutely made me sick when that happened on draft night. But Quinion Mitchell for the Eagles, could see him making some run at it. Jared Verse as well. But if I had to pick one out of these 6, I'm leaning Dallas Turner. And listen, I expect a massive year for Turner in year 1. And, a big reason for that is, it's not like he's going to have to come in and be the number 1 guy. Like Jonathan Greenard, he is going to be getting the chips. He is going to be getting the double teams. Like the running back's always going to be lined up on his side. So majority of the time, like unless Dallas Turner just absolutely starts dominating the first half of the year, then teams will adjust. But majority of the time, especially in the first half of the season, it's just going to be one-on-one with him and an offensive tackle. And, the more I've looked into Dallas Turner, like I just love his, bend a lot. Like it is incredible what he does coming off the edge. He gets so low. He drops his hips so well while maintaining that speed. Very reminiscent of Von Miller. Like I guarantee you, if you showed Von Miller rushing the passer and Dallas Turner, it would be hard to find, the differences in between them. So I think Dallas Turner, no doubt, he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, those are my 5 bold predictions for the Minnesota Vikings this season. But you guys let me know. Will Dallas Turner win Defensive Rookie of the Year? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comment section. As actually, fun fact, the last 2 years, the Defensive Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year came on the same team. It was C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, and then it was Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner the year before that. So maybe the Vikings replicate it. Maybe J.J. McCarthy ends up starting, and him and Turner win some awards this upcoming year. But also, guys, give me a follow on Twitter. That's a handle right there, at Pat Sieps. I'll put that link for you guys in the comment section and description of today's show. And just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's program. We'll see you guys next time. As always, Skol Vikes.